Okay, microbes are present in almost on all places, including extreme conditions also. So, already we discussed. Here, all microbes are not pathogenic. All the microbes are not causing diseases. Here, most of the microbes are useful to human welfare. So, let us discuss what microbes are useful to human health or human welfare. First of all, the microbes in household products. So, daily we are using so many microbe products. So, like curd, here so many dairy products like curd, cheese, yogurt. So, all these are dairy products fermented by microbes. First of all, here curd. So, daily we are eating curd. How it is fermented, how it is produced, how it is synthesized. So, curd is the milk product or dairy product. So, milk is here in 40 degrees centigrade. At 40 degrees centigrade or less than 40 degrees centigrade. At 40 degrees centigrade or less than 40 degrees centigrade, here these are here inoculated with bacteria. The bacteria are lab bacteria. So, what is lab? Lactic acid bacterium, lactic acid producing bacteria and other microbes also. So, here lab bacteria, for example, lactobacillus. Lactobacillus is a bacterium and this bacterium is fermenting the milk. So, the lactic acid bacteria producing the lactic acid. So, this lactic acid is coagulating the milk proteins. It is digesting, partially digesting and coagulating the milk proteins like casein proteins. Milk proteins like casein and here the lactic acid also involving in the coagulation of milk proteins. So, at certain temperature or below 40 degrees centigrade, the milk is converted into curd. So, in this lactic acid bacterium or lactobacillus involving lactobacillus is it is fermenting or in the fermentation process here it is like a anaerobic respiration like reactions. In the milk is converting into curd. In this lactic acid is digesting the milk proteins like casein and other proteins also coagulated. So, after the coagulation of all these proteins, it is converting into curd. So, this curd is in the curd, if you see here it is very nutritious than the milk because here vitamins and so many organic acids are also produced. So, many organic acids like lactic acid and it is rich in vitamin B12. So, it is very nutritious food than the milk. So, it is nutritious than milk and rich in vitamin B12. So, it is about curd fermentation. In the curd, here the lactic acid bacterium also it is involving in the probiotics or here it is checking disease causing organisms in our stomach. Here lactic acid bacterium is checking and it is improving our immunity power to disease causing microbes. So, it is about curd fermentation, and other dairy product is, the second product is cheese. So, cheese is also one dairy product. It is a fermented product. The cheese is fermented by different bacteria, milk, and lactic acid bacteria is fermenting into curd. So, the curd is slightly heated. So, after heating from the curd, the water part or whey is removed. So, after heating, so after the removal of water part, that solid part is called as cottage cheese. This cottage cheese is here the renin enzyme. A renin enzyme is it is fermenting or coagulating the milk proteins. And next, the cottage cheese is ripened by different bacteria. So, ripened into cheese. Cottage cheese is unripened cheese. So, next, the bacteria are involving in this. Some bacteria or fungal members are involving in the ripening process. So, it is a cheese process. Next, in the cheese fermentation or ripening, different bacteria and fungal members are also involving. These bacteria are Propionibacterium shermani. So, it is involving in the ripening of Swiss cheese. The Swiss cheese is having large holes. The large holes are also known as eyes. So, it is having large holes. Also called as eyes. Next, some fungal members like penicillium, fungal members are also involving in the ripening process. So, the fungal members are penicillium, roquefort, is involving in the ripening of roquefort cheese. Next, other fungal member like Penicillium camembert species, it is involving in the ripening of camembert cheese. Penicillium So, these are fungal members and it is bacteria. Some bacteria are involving in the ripening of cheese, and some fungal members like Penicillium species are also involving in the ripening of different cheeses. Next product is yogurt. Here yogurt is also, it is a fermented dairy product. So, in this all proteins, casein protein and other proteins are also coagulated by lactic acid bacterium, and some other bacterium also involving. So, the other bacteria are Streptococcus, Lactobacillus. So, these bacteria are involving in the coagulation of milk proteins and other proteins. So, it is also heated up to 45 degrees centigrade, and the total curd is converting into solid material. So, it is having some lactic acid and acetaldehyde. So, lactobacillus, it is producing lactic acid. So, in this lactic acid is present and acetaldehyde. So, the yogurt flavor is depending on the lactic acid and acetaldehyde. That is yogurt. It is also one dairy product. In this yogurt production, Streptococcus and Lactobacillus bacteria are involving. So, in this yogurt, lactic acid and acetaldehyde, they are deciding the texture and the taste flavor of the yogurt. The next product is Dosa, Idli. These are also fermented products. So, these products are here generally we are fermenting in our houses by using some rice flour and black gram. Rice flour and black gram are these are fermented by some bacteria. The bacteria are airborne bacteria. We are not adding any bacteria into that flour. So, the naturally in the air the bacteria are present. These bacteria are Leuconostoc, Streptococcus. So, these bacteria are fermenting the rice flour and the black gram into here dosa and idli duff. So, this duff is used for making these products. So, the duff is after fermentation the flour is puffing up. So, the puffing up appearance is due to the production of carbon dioxide. So, large amount of carbon dioxide is produced by this bacteria in the fermentation process. So, due to the production of carbon dioxide, the duff swells or increases in size or puffing up appearance. So, when we bake these duff or when we during the cooking process, the carbon dioxide is evaporated, and slightly in the duff or in the products here ethanol is also present. Ethanol. So, carbon dioxide. Here the rice flour, it is fermented into here these products. So, in the fermentation process carbon dioxide and ethanol both are produced. In the cooking process a carbon dioxide is removed, slight amount of ethanol or alcoholic substances are present in the flour. So, it is dosa and idli fermented products by these bacteria. And next microbial product is alcohol. So, the number of alcohols are produced by here yeast. The yeast is single cellular, unicellular, here eukaryotic fungal member. So, the alcohol is most of the alcohols are produced by yeast. So, common yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So, it is involving in the fermentation process. Here ethanol is produced or ethyl alcohol is produced. So that's why this fungal member is also known as brewer's yeast. In the beverages, during the production of alcohols, this fungal member is used. It is also belonging to Ascomycetes group. Here next product is bread. Here bread is also, it is a fermented product by same yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Bread is fermented. Here wheat flour generally it is fermented by the yeast. So here the yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. It is involving in the production of this bread. So the yeast is also called as baker's yeast. Baker's yeast. Yeast name is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So during the fermentation process, the carbon dioxide is produced and ethanol is also produced. So the carbon dioxide is it is evaporated during the baking process, and a slight amount of ethanol or alcohol is present in the bread. So here it is producing large amount of carbon dioxide. So here the carbon dioxide evaporation, after the carbon dioxide evaporation, the small holes are present in the bread. So the bread is swelling during the fermentation, and it is appearing like a puffing up appearance. So that is due to the production of carbon dioxide, and this baker's yeast is also producing some enzymes. So amylase, maltase, zymase like enzymes. Here, due to the production of all these enzymes by these yeast, here the puffing up appearance we can see, and it is becoming as smooth and soft structure, that is bread. That is also, it is also one fermented product by yeast, fungal member. Okay, next the products are, here some products are produced from the here soya bean and bamboo shoots. So these are also fermented. So bamboo shoots, soya bean, so soya bean and bamboo shoots are fermented by some bacteria. So these are these bacteria are fermenting the soya bean and bamboo shoots like soya sauce and tempeh, tofu, sufu, in different countries different names. So this type of fermented products are produced by some bacteria. So these are also soya sauce, tempeh, tofu. So these are fermented products.